Hi, I'm Shannon from houseimprovements.com, and as you know, we quite often get companies sending us out products. They want to get our opinion on it or get a review on it, and so we put out the odd video. But I always tell the companies always tell them the same thing: you can send out whatever you want. I'll have a look at it. I'll try it on site for a while. If it's something I'm not familiar with, and if I like it, there's a good chance I'm going to do a video of it, or maybe even post a review of it on the forum. If I don't like it, or I don't think it's that great, you're never going to see it. So I don't want to just have people sending me stuff and I open it up and try it for the first time in front of you guys. I want to use it, know what it does, and be happy with it, have pros and cons, whatever. So today I have another product. And this company, True Position, they sent us out a jig. It's a really adjustable jig for installing cabinet hardware, specifically pulls and knobs. Okay, so this type of thing. Okay, so cabinet door hardware. So they sent me out this kit. It all kind of comes in a kit here. There is other accessories that they have that I don't have in this kit, but anyways, this does anything you kind of want to do almost to drill holes in doors and drawer fronts for cabinetry. It's very adjustable. Might look a little bit intimidating with all the different pieces and bits, but once you use it a little bit, it's actually very user-friendly. I've used it on one complete kitchen, and I really liked it. I really did. I found very few things wrong with it, honestly, and the more I use it, the more I like it. So it's one of those things that I really appreciate. It comes with everything you see that I've got right here, came in this kit, as well as the 5mm bit, which fits these bushings. These are all the spots where you could drill holes. Okay, there's a few other little accessories here for other situations, but I'm just concentrating on door pulls and handles. So really what you want to do, what I like to do, is if I'm using a handle that has 2 holes in it, this one actually has 4 because you can use 2 different size measurements, but usually there's only a hole in each one, right? You can also do one that's just a pull like that. I'm going to set it up for this guy. And what I do for that is I like to actually, just so there's no mistakes, you can always measure it out and blah, 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 get it all set up. But just so there's no mistakes, I actually like to bolt the handle right to the jig and then adjust the jig from there. That way I know, come on, start in there. That way I know that, a 1/16 of an inch when you're measuring handle holes can actually be a big issue. So it looks like this jig is the same, set up for the same measurements that I had before. But anyways, you'd loosen off these 2 set screws and then get your handle hooked on there. Okay. Then you want to get your handle. What I like to do anyways is I like to center the handle on the jig. So I just take a little piece of tape, throw it on the handle. I measure the handle to find the center of the handle, the face of the handle that I've got here. So this one's going to be 1 inch and 5/16. I'll just double check it from measuring the other way. Yeah. So that's the center. Then what I do is I just eyeball it up with the center line here on the jig, on this ruler. Okay. And because actually it looks like I was using the same size handles last time I used the jig, this one's all set up, but you'd basically just slide those around till that line lines up with this line. Okay, then you're centered that direction on the jig. Okay, so I can take the handle off there. And with this jig, once you set it up to do your doors, I would go and do all the doors that are these measurements. Okay, then you can set it up for your top row of drawers, so on and so on. Do all the ones that are the same each time, so you're not changing your settings back and forth. Because what you need to do, let's just say that I don't have a door, but let's just say this piece of melamine here is a door. And let's say that we want to have our handles at inch and 3/4 from the edge. So we'll just say that this is the door, like that's the door like that, right? Up and down. Okay. Hinges over here. So we're gonna say that we want to have our hinges at inch and 3/4. Now, I don't go and mark these lines on the doors themselves for each one. I might do the first one just till I get the jig set up. I put some masking tape on the door, do all the writing on the masking tape. But let's just say that's what we want, is 2 inches from the edge. So we need to set this guide 2 inches from the center line of these holes, okay? And there's a ruler right on here to do that. So this, let me just remember, oh yeah, I want to put it back here. I had to think about what I was doing there for a minute. So if I roll this guide along this ruler up to the 2-inch mark back here, tighten down that little screw, I should have 2 inches from center of these holes to the face of here. Or sorry, I went inch and 3/4. And yes, I've got inch and 3/4 right to the center of that hole. Okay? So that gets me that inch and 3/4 distance that I was shooting for. Okay, and it lines right up. Lines right up. I don't know if I can show this very well. Can you see the pencil line in the holes? Okay, so that's lining up for the distance from the edge of the door. Now, if this is the bottom of the door, and let's just say I decide I want this up 2 inches to the first hole, okay? So to this hole, I want it to be at 2 inches. I can easily just slide this piece on the end here. And I can look down this first hole where I just put that pencil mark, get it in the crosshairs, slide this over, tighten that up. These little thumb screws are pretty good. They're a little small, but they've got good texture to them, so they're easy to grip. So I didn't really have any trouble. Like, I didn't find I had to get out a pair of pliers or anything to tighten those up. Everything stayed good. I'm just going to double check. So I've got that first hole lined up right where I want it. So this guide here is giving me my inset on the side of the door, and this guide here, the way I set it up, is giving me the inset up to the bottom hole from the bottom of the door. So now that I got this set, I could go and do 1,000 doors, all that same setup, and they'd all be the same. So that's what I like about it. It's really simple. I honestly used to, if it's just a few doors, I used to put tape on every door, measure every one out. There's so much chance for an error there, and you're going to screw up a door that you know, I was always double checking. It took me forever to do it because you're always going back, double checking, make sure you had everything. And then sometimes I'd make up my own jigs, and that's all right. You know, making a wooden jig basically that has the holes in it that you're going to drill, and a guide on the side, a guide on the bottom. But over time, after you drill 10 doors even, if you have a wooden jig, the little guide wears out from the bits, and then now your holes aren't quite the same. This is going to last, and I should be able to do a lot of kitchens before these holes ever wear out. So, you know, this set might be a couple $100. I think that's about what it is in Canadian. But let's just say you screw up one door because you measured wrong. Well, that door could be $100. So you screw up 2 or 3 doors, and pretty soon this jig is paid for itself, right? So even for me as a professional, I don't know why I didn't have something like this long before. Okay, so we've got it all set up. There's all kinds of increments you could use. You know, there's a longer ruler. You know, some of these pulls are pretty big, so there's a longer ruler. I think they have a longer one even than that. But you know, everything's kind of there. So now, once you have your jig set up, just going to try to drill this here for you just to show you how it works out without being in your way. Now, I always put a block on the back side of my doors so you don't get as bad of a tear out on the back. I'd normally have my kitchen all installed and my doors hanging, and then I'd go and do all my handles. So then I'm just walking up to each door. I can hold the jig on there. This handle's in the way, so I probably won't be able to really do it, but you know, I can put the jig on there, hold it up there, hold my block on the back, drill, keep going. By doing it with the doors all installed, there's way less chance that you're going to accidentally drill the wrong side of the door, because you've already got them mounted and they're in the right position. And then with this jig, you really can't screw up if you've set it up right the first time. So, okay, so I'm just going to try to drill here on the bench. So I've got my 5mm bit that it came with. I'm pushing this against the edge of the door and this against the bottom, so everything should line up nicely. And I didn't quite go through. Okay, so there's my 2 handle holes on my door. And in fact, let's just throw the handle on. Like I said, it's so much easier to do when the door's hanging on the cabinet. And I drop my screw. And I didn't bring a screwdriver over here to tighten it right up, but it fits in there, it's straight, you can see it in line with our lines there. And you can just replicate those same positions as many times as you need to once you've set up the jig once. Okay, so like I said, do all the doors that are the same, or drawers, reset the jig up for the next dimensions. You know, your drawers are going to change, some of your doors might be different with a handle in the middle or whatever. If you're using a single knob like this, just a single hole, you don't need all this stuff really on here. You really just need that hole and this guide on the end and this guide. Okay, so really good system. I really liked it. Pros and cons. The pros are, once you set it up correctly, you're not going to screw up a door. That's the biggest pro that there is to it. Cons, I really can't think of anything. I'm not a big fan of the case, maybe, would be the only thing I would say. You know, it's nice that everything snaps in there and whatever, blah, 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 but it'd almost be nicer if it was just an empty case, maybe lined with some foam or something, and you could just set it in there. You know, I'm always looking at this thing, trying to figure out where everything goes back in. So maybe that'd be my only con, honestly. So if you do any amount of cabinets, even if you got one kitchen to do, honestly, I believe the $200 is worth it. Like I said, why did I go so many years without one? You got me. I have no answer for that question. So what are they called again? True Position. Thank you very much for sending it out. It's in my arsenal now, and it will be forever. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel. We've got tons of videos. Not all stuff like this, showing reviews of tools. We've got how to build a fence, how to build a shed, bathroom renovations, flooring, electrical, roofing. We've got everything. Subscribe, check it out. Click the thumbs up. Check out the description below the video as well. And we often put links in there for the things we're displaying, Amazon affiliate links or links to our forum, that sort of thing. So go check it out.